youtube.com/MugenLord. Subscribe to the channel for gaming news, updates, discussion, and live streams. Signing off.
Hey guys, it's Mugalore here, and I'm back again with another video. And today we're going to talk about Overwatch 2, because Blizzard had officially announced the game over the weekend during their event called BlizzCon. If you guys don't know what that is, that's pretty much a convention hosted by Blizzard themselves to pretty much update the fan base, update journalists on what new products they have in the works, or what other products that they're pretty much trying to put out there for everybody to get their hands on. And also they show off some of their existing products with updates and news and anything that they have to reveal. So it seemed like at BlizzCon this year they announced two titles, which was Overwatch 2 and of course Diablo 4. Now I'll get into Diablo 4 in its own video. I think that'd be pretty interesting for us to discuss, but in this video we're going to talk about Overwatch 2. Now I guess you could say this project right here, or this announcement, is pretty, I guess you say, divisive in a way, is because even since last year, during last year BlizzCon, there was rumors that there was going to be an announcement of Overwatch 2, or that Overwatch 2 was pretty much in the works. Now what makes this, I guess you say, this announcement divisive is for the simple fact is when these leaks were available, a lot of people started questioning and speculating, what is Blizzard doing? I mean, they pretty much established a big league going on, a competitive league with Overwatch, and there's a lot of people who pretty much spent a lot of money on microtransactions with the cosmetics for the characters. They, like I said, they established a whole esports around the competitive play of Overwatch, and now that we have Overwatch 2, what it's going to do to the competitive community? Will it divide the community? Will people have to ditch Overwatch 1 and move over to Overwatch 2? Does it make Overwatch 1 pretty much obsolete? So a lot of people was really scared and really skeptical about it. So they pretty much, I guess you could say, laid at the rest in a way with Overwatch 2, but at the same time it still had people questioning, you know, their method and how they're going about this when they made this announcement. So pretty much with Overwatch 2, what they're doing is they pretty much showed off, of course, a cinematic trailer like they did with the first Overwatch, which I must say that I'm a big fan of Overwatch when it comes to their character designs. You know, they made the world livable, they made the world believable, they made it convincing and everything, and they was able to accomplish this really skillfully. And that's why I think that's what the appeal is to Overwatch, is the character designs, and they really diversified their cast as well. So it pretty much was able to cater to everybody when it comes to race, body size, you know, everything. So everybody had someone that they can be able to pick out and relate to. So I think they covered that front, and I think that's why it has this such a mass appeal on a casual level. But when it comes to the competitive level, that's a whole different ball game to itself. So as far as that's concerned, what Blizzard had done and what they made with the announcement was that pretty much if you have Overwatch 1, you would have access to new characters from Overwatch 2, and also new maps from Overwatch 2. And Jeff Kaplan has also stated that you will be able to take all your hard work and progress when it comes to the cosmetics and everything that you have purchased from Overwatch 1 will also still retain in everything, you know, if you move over to Overwatch 2. So Overwatch 1 players get to play with Overwatch 2 players, and you still have access to the competitive modes and everything, so no one is left in the dark. Now in a way, a lot of people are questioning this for the fact is that, okay, that's good that all our progress won't be for nothing and that Overwatch 1 is still relevant, but the issue is, why call it a part 2? Why couldn't this been an update? Why couldn't this been some type of patch or anything of that? Now the thing is, I don't really have the answers myself, and we, like I said, what Jeff Kaplan and the team has said is that they're going to be pretty much silent with Overwatch 2 because they have a lot of work to put into it, and they only revealed one character, which is Sojourn. She's pretty much an android character who looks pretty badass. I can't wait to see how she plays and everything. But he said that there's going to be more characters to come. So we can't really jump the gun just yet to see how, what makes Overwatch 2, more appealing to even purchase. And we don't even know the price point. A lot of people is assuming that it's going to be $60, and it might possibly be $60, but is it worth that? Because visually, you can tell that there's a little visual difference, not much of a big difference, not much of a big leap, and you're still able to pretty much play with Overwatch 2 players as far as the maps, the characters, and everything is concerned. It's pretty much not divide the community, keep the community together. But then what's the purpose of it? Now, the other thing is Overwatch 2 have a PvE feature. Now, they didn't state that the PvE, unless I didn't see a recent interview or anything like that past this video. The PvE gameplay is also a feature that's in Overwatch 2. And what the PvE feature is, you have cooperative play, you have story missions, and the story missions are tailored to each cast of characters that the story pretty much requires. So whatever characters that pop up in the story and that story mission requires those characters, those are the characters that you would take control of. And in this game, your heroes would gain experience points, and those experience points will be able to enhance their special skills and special abilities and everything for those characters. And each ability will have different effects depending on the level and how you enhance them and everything. And there's also loot boxes, like in game, like where you can pick up you open up treasure boxes and you can get like enhancements to your weapons and stuff like that. So they have a whole story segment for players who really wants to get into the PvE, where you will co-op with other players and stuff. Now, my only concern is the maps for these PvEs, because from the looks of it, these maps look like they're from the first game, and of course we're going to have some new maps from for this game as well. But if you know Overwatch and you play Overwatch, these Overwatch maps aren't that big. So as far as the story missions are concerned, are you playing through the same maps, the same like small maps, and then once you get to the end of that map, you get a cutscene or you fight a boss or whatever, and then you move on? So like, how long are the missions? Or there will be, like, I guess you could say they utilize the same maps, but they add more to the maps for the story mode only, where they have extra layers, like an underground facility and stuff like that. So I'm definitely curious about that. Now, you also have the hero missions. Now, the hero missions is different from story mode. Story mode you have a fixed characters for those particular missions. Now, hero mode is you're allowed to play any hero that you want. So that means you can put Widowmaker on the same team as Tracer, because they're from they're from different groups. You have the Overwatch group, and then you have the other faction that Widowmaker and the other characters are from. But with the hero missions, you're allowed to mix and match whatever heroes that you want, that you're comfortable with and that you enjoy playing. So you be able to level up and unlock different things from there as well, which I think is all good and dandy and everything. But I'm just still curious of how is this any different from Overwatch 1? What's the incentive to make the jump, unless the PvE feature is separate from Overwatch 1, which means that you pretty much can't use those features unless you have Overwatch 2. That's the only thing I can see why you would have to go over to Overwatch 2, because they did make an announcement that all the characters are getting a new look, a new makeover and everything, and I'm pretty sure that makeover is going over to Overwatch 1 as well. So that's what had me confused about that. And then they did make an announcement that there is a new competitive PvP mode, which is pretty much the push block, where you have an NPC robot that will push your block over to the other side, I guess, to your opponents. So I think that's going to pretty much replace the load that you have to push in the previous Overwatch competitive scene. So I think that's replacing that. So that's the only thing that I can really say so far about Overwatch 2, and that's the only concern that I'm really having for this, is what's the incentive to get part 2? Because if I'm able to get everything that part 2 has, then what's the point? I can just keep Overwatch 1. So I'm definitely curious to see how they go about that, and it's still early, so I really can't jump the gun, but I can see why people are upset or confused about this whole thing, because Jeff Kaplan was also saying that they're approaching sequels differently than how most companies will approach sequels or whatever like that. So by taking the existing community and allowing them to cross play over to the sequel, is their way to approaching the sequel much differently. But to me, it just seemed like it's just a patch, it's just an update to me, in my opinion. It just, why not just call it an update than call it 2? But like I said, it's still early. They may have other things they're going to announce to justify it being a part 2. We just have to wait and see. But overall, I definitely want to get back into Overwatch. I know a lot of people, especially in the competitive community, is really fed up with Overwatch and how they're handling the balancing of the game on a competitive level, and how toxic the community can be in the competitive sense and everything. And my overall experience with Overwatch when it came out, I really enjoyed it, and I enjoyed it the most when I was able to play with my brother DX Strike and Keel Lancer, and my friend Monstrosity and them. I had a good time with them, and I think the best way to play Overwatch is when you have a set established team and you having fun with your friends. Because oh my god, I tried playing Overwatch when my brothers and them weren't playing, and I was trying to play with other players, and I can say there's a lot of elitism going on, and it's just a lot of people who it's just toxic. It's just people take the game way too seriously, and I think that doesn't really make the game fun at all. So since my brothers and them haven't really played Overwatch much anymore, I haven't had a reason to play it, because I refuse to play with random players in a team that doesn't really communicate as well and everything like that, and it just get really toxic. So that's why I haven't bothered Overwatch ever since then. So hopefully my brother DX Strike, Keel Lancer, and a few other of my friends, they're excited for Overwatch 2. Maybe Overwatch 2 is going to get them back into it, and if that's the case, I'll definitely like to get into Overwatch 2 and do some Overwatch Overwatch content in general here on my channel. But I definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment sections below. What do you think about Overwatch 2? Do you think this is just a cash grab? Do you think this is a ripoff? Do you think Blizzard is going to sell this game for $60, even though that if you have Overwatch 1, you can pretty much receive and enjoy the same content as Overwatch 2 players? I definitely want to hear your thoughts on this, because I think this is a bit divisive, a bit controversial, and I understand where everyone is coming from, because I'm a bit concerned for it too. It's in that sense, and I definitely want to know, if you're a competitive player in Overwatch, what do you think about the competitive scene? Do you think Overwatch 2 can fix some of the issues that's going on in the competitive scene? Definitely want to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like the video, make sure you like, pass it, subscribe, and also if you want to hear any more news updates concerning Overwatch 2, definitely hit the bell to be notified. This is Mugen Lord signing off. See you game fiends later. Peace out. It looks like you reached the end of the video. Well, while you're at it, check out some of my other discussion videos by clicking on the annotations below, and don't forget to follow me on other social media platforms to stay up to date with future content. Signing off.